welcome to VOP Business Show. I am Kayla Abraham. Nigerian stocks have soared to its pinnacle since June 9, 2008 yesterday as the benchmark index enlarged by 4% in response to the news of the arrest of the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele over the weekend. The new developments strengthened optimism that the much-needed liquidity in the market may soon return. Transaction volume more than doubled compared to the previous session following a much improved risk appetite that greeted the suspension. Mr. Emefiele's arrest impacted reactions in the market as his raft of unconventional policies has kept many investors at bay in recent years. According to the Nigerian exchange data, foreign participation in the Nigerian equity market had dwindled from 104 billion naira about the time former President Muhammadu Buhari took over to just 8.5 billion naira in April. The brisk trade witnessed in the market on Tuesday echoes the general optimism visible across the market after Mr. Emefiele's arrest, with Nigerians' dollars bonds jumping to their peak level on Monday this year. The all-share index grew by 2,232.6 basis points to 58,163.6, while market capitalization climbed to 31.7 trillion naira. Year to date, the index has returned 13.5%. The federal government has issued licenses to the NNPCL Exploration and Production Limited and Belema Sweet Export Terminal Limited for the establishment of crude export terminals. The licenses were approved and issued to the companies on Tuesday in Abuja by the authority chief executive ace of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed. The news agency of Nigeria reports that NNPCL Exploration and Production Limited operates Utapate Export Terminal located in Akwa Ibom State, while the Belema Sweet Export Terminal Limited is located in Rivers State. They are the first set of licenses to establish crude oil terminals sealed and granted by the NMDPRA. Speaking at the signing of the terminal establishment licenses, Mr. Ahmed said the development would add more than 4 million barrels of capacity to Nigerians' export storage. He said the issuance of the licenses was pursuant to the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, which stipulated new provisions for the establishment of new export terminals. He said the license, which is processed and approved, enables one to establish, construct or operate a terminal or other facility for the export or importation of crude oil or petroleum products. Responding, Modibo Ahmed, who received the license on behalf of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, disclosed that the crude oil terminal would be operational within 3 months. According to him, the NNPCL ENP is a subsidiary of the NNPC Limited responsible for the exploration and production of crude oil and will have its first cargo soon for the benefit of Nigerians. The Chief Executive Officer of Belema Oil Producing Limited, Jack Rich, who lauded the federal government for facilitating business operations in Nigeria, said that the terminal would bring Nigeria to a global scale as a hybrid terminal. Mr. Jack Rich said the terminal had the capacity to generate over $11 billion in national revenue and over 400,000 barrels of crude daily, with a storage point that could store 8 billion barrels of crude. Speaking on the subsidy removal, he said the development will spur the production of more oil and crude for local refineries and consumption. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has commenced the upgrade and installation of the 2023 version of ClearData for improved service delivery. ClearData is a climatic database management system used for archival, retrieval, and for product generation. It also provides easy data acquisition, quality control, calculations, reporting, and map generation. The agency in a statement said the installation and training of officers were part of NIMET's strategic plan to improve its capacity to generate multi-sectoral products and services. The training is being conducted by experts from the Czech Republic who are currently on site upgrading and installing the 2023 version of ClearData. Nigeria has spent $3.447 billion importing phones, generating sets, electrical transformers, and a host of other electrical equipment in 2022. This is based on data called from the International Trade Center. The ITC gets its data from the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Comtrade. According to the multilateral agency, which has a joint mandate with the World Trade Organization and the United Nations, Nigeria's electrical importation bill grew by 11.90% from the $3.09 billion it was in 2022. Also, over the last 3 years, Nigeria has spent $10.26 billion importing electrical equipment amid falling foreign exchange reserves. Imports under the electrical machinery and equipment category on the ITC portal include, but are not limited to, electric motors and generators, electric generating sets, electrical transformers, vacuum cleaners, electrical shavers, hair clippers, and telephone sets, which include smartphones, facsimile machines for line telephony, teleprinters, and other parts of telephone sets. Total phone imports in 2022 was put at $773.56 million, a 0.17% year-on-year increase from $772.25 million as of 2021. $468.65 million worth of electric motors and electric generating and $357.36 million worth of electrical transformers were also imported. Cumulatively, the three products constituted 46.06% of total electrical equipment importation in 2022. Most of the equipment were imported from China, India, Germany, Turkey, Sweden, United States of America, United Kingdom, Austria, Italy, Vietnam, and France. The managing director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mr. Mohammed Bello Koko, has said the footage allowance had not been approved by the Salary and Wages Commission. Mr. Bello Koko said that this recently during the inauguration of the rehabilitated Apapa and Tinkan Port Control Towers. He said that the allowance was not properly documented, adding that the agency was working towards proper documentation of the allowance. However, footage allowances are monies paid by shipping companies through the port authorities of countries to the pilots. Recall that the Nigerian Maritime Pilots Association some months ago lamented the non-payment of the allowance. The exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar, according to the data released on the FMDQ Security Exchange, the official forex trading portal, showed that the Naira opened at 473.50 Naira per dollar on Tuesday and closed at 471.67 Naira per dollar on Tuesday. Even though the dollar opened in parallel markets for 765 Naira per dollar, the CBN does not recognize the parallel market, otherwise known as the black market. The Apex Bank has therefore directed anyone who requires forex to approach their banks, insisting that the I&E window is the only known exchange. Central Bank of Nigeria has given commercial banks and dealers in the forex markets the approval to sell forex freely at a market-determined rate. This is in line with the promise of President Bola Tinubu to unify the multiple exchange rates in the market. According to Nairametrics, the initial understanding of this message is that banks can now sell forex at a market-determined rate, suggesting Nigeria is now operating a freely floating exchange rate. This was confirmed from multiple sources at the central bank and from traders with knowledge of the matter. However, official confirmation will have to come later in the day when data from the FMDQ is available. An official confirmation will be issued by the central bank. Sources also report trades are now going for as high as 750 Naira per dollar. Meanwhile, in the black market, the exchange rate traded for as high as 773 Naira per dollar for inflows, which represent dollars or other currencies sold over the wires. This is a developing story, but as at the time of this report, this was what VOP TV Business Desk could gather. That's all on the VOP Business Show and VOP TV. We would like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on other social media channels at VOP TV Live. Thanks for watching. I am Kayla Abraham.